This is episode 28 of The Mind and the Martyr with a wonderful new face joining us. We have the fantastic The Dragon Gem with us. Why don't you go ahead and just say a quick hello to the people?
Hello everyone, I'm Dragon Gem on most things, the Dragon Gem on Twitter. My name's Rochelle. I'm so happy to be here and I can't wait to play.
Hype. And we have the rest of our wonderful cast here as well, raring and ready to go. Before we get started, just a quick few things before we get into the action. The first would be a gigantic thank you to everyone who came out for the little bit last minute Philippines 9.5 hour, I think it ended up being, fundraiser, which was a hell of a time. We had Goat Chaos, we had Romantic Mechs, we had a fantastic game of everyone is John, but it was switched, so everyone is Scarlett Johansson, everyone is ScarJo. It was brilliant, a huge amount of fun. We raised over $500 for disaster relief in the Philippines, and we are not done yet. The Mind of the Martyr will also be taking part in this charity fundraiser, and we have 4 other games coming up during the month as well. 2 that are in the Cypher system, and another 2 that I have completely forgotten. I am so sorry, but take a look at the Friends Who Roll Dice Twitter, and all the information will be up there very soon. In case you don't know, the Philippines has been hit recently by a strew of rather violent and disastrous tornadoes. Typhoons. There we go. It has done a significant amount of damage to the homes and the infrastructure of the islands, and we want to do what we can to try and assist in that. So all of the donations will be going to a charity specializing in disaster relief over there. With that being said, there are also a few sponsors which keep the channel going on our end. We have the wonderful folks at Grinding Coffee. Coffee is important. Coffee is important to a lot of us, especially when you're in the TTRPG sphere and you just don't really sleep all that often. Go ahead and check out Grinding Coffee. They have a fantastic selection of various different flavors. The Mexican blend is my favorite. It tastes so good. And I will be getting another order very soon. It is a Black LGBT plus owned business. They have a Kickstarter currently up in order to maintain their business during the pandemic times. If you can go ahead and throw some pocket change over there to help them out, that would be super appreciated. They also have a few sampler packs. If you're not really that into coffee and you're not too sure of what you want to really go for, you can go ahead and get a sampler pack of a few different flavors to sate your appetite, hopefully. That is them. They are fantastic. If you go ahead and throw in the code FWRD, that's FWRD forward, you'll get 13% off there. We also have a sponsor in the wonderful folks over at So Nerdware. They have a whole bunch of various different tabletop-related attire and paraphernalia as well. Anything from mugs and other kind of accessories, all the way through to dice and t-shirts. They recently had a line with Breeder, which is being donated to Black creators. They are a fantastic group of people. They support a whole bunch of charities within themselves as well, and they also support a whole bunch of other streamers. Go ahead and throw in the code FRIENDS to get 10% off there. We also do have another sponsor, but they are currently down while they are refitting for the new year in DM Emporium. Make sure to keep an eye on them as they go ahead and relaunch at some point in January, which will be very cool. Other than that, we're also a part of Emporium, a wonderful team of streamers doing wonderful things across the platform that is Twitch. Anything from TTRPGs, such as ourselves, to kind of more comfy games, your Stardew Valleys and your Animal Crossings, go ahead and support all of our wonderful teammates there. And we should be having a game together soon, which will be super fun. That's enough of me. We can go ahead and get started and dive right in here with our next episode. Who among us is going to recap the folks in chat of what happened last episode?
Aye, that would be me, sir.
All right, Oren. What happened?
Well, as we were leaving the city of Keene, we came across some musical crystals. Had a wee bit of a jaunt there. It was a really fun, kind of beautiful experience. We headed to meet up with Sally, our old friend, to give her one of the blades of the Luna Cerritas. And as we approached the nearing town, we actually saw what turned out to be 2 members of the Luna Cerritas beating the ever-living shite out of her. So, of course, we ran in and fucked them up right. We all took some damage because they're pretty powerful. But we did kind of come up on top. I believe we not murdered, but, you know, in self-defense, killed the gnome. And the drow, being a slippery little fuck, actually got away. And as the gnome's body started to pulse with this strange energy, Jotra, the daft bastard, he did what he does best. He tried something new and rushed in, and I don't know what kind of magic he did, but her body and himself just kind of vanished in a blast of energy. And now I don't believe that there are any wee pieces of Jotra lying about, so I have high spirits that he's okay. God, you bastard. He'll be fine. He'll be fine.
That is indeed where we left off, at the aftermath of Jotra's disappearance and him saving the party from what could have been quite the disaster in the middle of this forest. The only thing left being one of his magic stones and the discs that he left with each of you that played out to the very end of the last episode. His feelings for you all, his feelings for Eridan, his best friend, that echoed out throughout the forest around you. Bitter, yes, but also a little more heartening that you managed to get a final word, even if it was like this. Eridan's dropped to her knees, staring at this magic stone. A few moments of silence pass between you all. The realization of what's happened. Letting that settle into yourselves as the forest almost seems to build up around you just a little bit. The birds start to sing again. The wind picks up and rustles through the trees. The smell of wood and leaves and moss suddenly re-enter your senses. Everything is quiet and everything is peaceful. Despite the few blood-soaked patches of the ground, nothing that had happened to you over the past few minutes would be evidenced in this place. You hear the still heavy breathing of Sally beside you. She's still pumping the occasional bit of healing into herself from her rather dire wounds. The floor is yours.
We will. We can. I'm pretty sure. I mean, he blasted out of here, but he's still fine. He's somewhere. We'll find him. We'll.
You look pretty hurt. Yeah.
I'm sorry, who are you talking to?
Who are you talking to?
He's talking to Sally.
I was going to say, a lot of people in here are very...
He kind of just says that to everybody, but he's looking at Sally.
Y'all ain't looking too hard.
Yeah.
You watch as she's kind of, she's nursing her right arm as she's kind of curing herself. And she takes a look and kind of sighs, pulls her arm up, and seems to pull a string of her robe. And as she pulls the string, it seems to just infinitely carry on and on as she slowly begins to sew this tourniquet around her own arm. And just, after a little while, tightens it at the shoulder. Just... I've been better. I ended up taking a slight detour, visited a couple of places, ran a couple of errands. Was actually heading to the last one now. Wasn't exactly expecting to be jumped by those, Who are they?
Yes, who are they? And I'm also going to pop a prayer of healing at 3rd level, because we're not going to fight anymore, right, Ray? There's no more fights, right, Ray?
Don't tempt him.
Under the Martyr, there's not many.
Suddenly.
No fights. No.
So I'm gonna pop my last 3rd level spell slot because there's no more fighting.
Why would you tell the DM that?
I have other spell
Don't
slots.
have that much combat. It just so happens that the way that events happened. I'm sorry.
All right. Okay. I'm gonna roll my 3d8 now. Thanks. No, I just dropped it on the ground.
So kind of like waddles over to Dewan and is just kind of like, he's like,
We probably could use. You doing it? Never mind.
Yeah, so it's I'm chanting while kneeling on the ground. Okay, Gnocchi, sure. Knock my notebook over.
that's a cat.
He's helping. Yes, he's helping with the chant. And as I chant, it's like before where if there were a lot of people, it'd sound like a babbling brook. But there's just me. But you also hear from like in my throat what kind of sounds like purring, but it helps reverberate the chanting. And everyone gets, I just rolled it and I promptly forgot, 15 points, nope, 18 points of healing.
Ooh.
All right, 18 points of healing to everybody.
Oh, thank you.
Among everyone, Soup seems rather fine.
Did Soup take any damage during
No.
that combat?
No.
I didn't think so.
Orin wipes the blood that was gushing from his nose just off, and he's fine now. It's like, oh, okay, that's lovely.
Perfect.
Orin's gonna come up, and I know you're kneeling down, so he's gonna walk straight up just so he's like eye level with you. And I don't know, he reaches out and puts his hand on your shoulder. And he goes, "It'll be all right, lass. We'll find him. We will." And he just pulls you in for a big hug. He's our family. Family's more than blood. It's holes you carve out in your heart to keep people in. There's always going to be a place for Joshua right here, in the both of us, in all of us. We'll find him. Now, Ashtalora, you come over here and take care of your ma. Shit, is she? I think she was.
I was gonna say, no, you summoned her again. You're good. She was there for the fight. But you did not have her involved, because the last couple of times that's happened, it has ended badly.
Mm-hmm.
You hold your cat. And she kind of does that little thing where, like, you're holding her like that, and she starts just kind of like treading biscuits on your shoulder.
Kneading biscuits, treading biscuits.
It's
right.
Making
In
cookies.
the UK, we call it treading water. That's what that's what we call it. We say they're treading water.
I understand,
So-
but you don't tread biscuits now, do you?
I don't. Whenever Ray talks about the UK, it's a different language. I don't know what he's saying.
Yeah, there's going to
I
be...
got the two confused, okay? We're
Should
treading
be a
biscuits
decent
and we're
amount of that.
kneading water. That's what we're doing.
Soup, like during this moment, Soup just kind of looks at them. He looks off in the distance for a little bit.
We gotta get out of here. They might come back.
That's probably
I
a
agree.
good idea.
We should move.
Which of these towns were you headed towards, Sally?
I was planning to just head a little bit further north. There's two small villages next to each other. I have business in Janezo, just to the north.
Well, seems like we better come with you. Didn't want to see you like this.
Indeed. She kind of wipes away with her left hand, just a little bit of blood away from her mouth. Just hardly the most presentable moment for a greeting.
Oh, hold on. I got something.
And he like does his little stance and moves and casts prestidigitation to like clean her face off.
She pauses for a moment, and just kind of stares at you as this is happening. A small smile just creases in the corner of her mouth. She walks over and just pats you twice on the head. Just says, "Well, you're always full of surprises, aren't you?"
He is just smiling from ear to ear.
The she kind of pauses for a moment while looking over the blade. You know, after seeing quite how dangerous those individuals are, I'm not sure I want this, but a deal's a deal. It's not the same sword, but I assume it works the same, correct? She goes ahead and takes it out of your hand. Kind of flicks it to one side and the other. Yes, I suppose that's true. Well then. And her eyes kind of move over towards the party as a whole. Let's get moving, shall we? I'm afraid, I fear my cart may be ruined. I'm afraid we're going to have to travel on foot. And she kind of pauses for a moment. It's like, looks towards both Soup and Oren and says, well, I suppose maybe he could hold both of you. And smiles a little bit. Just so it's a little easier to keep up.
Who? Who are you referring to?
She pauses for a moment. Apologies. I forget who has seen him and who hasn't. She goes ahead and kind of clicks her fingers. And as she does so, the other sleeve, her left-hand sleeve of her gown, begins to just unthread entirely, all the way up to kind of the shoulder. And as this begins to unthread, it lands on the ground and begins to twist and turn and knot through. And slowly but surely, this rope almost seems to extend infinitely as this small construction of what appears to be a deer becomes larger and larger, almost as if it's stitching itself into existence. This thread continues to spin and spin and spin more until it is created in its full size.
How big is it?
It's slightly bigger than a regular deer.
That is a cool trick.
Wow. You gonna ride that?
We are. I'm sure everyone else can keep up, but I'm sure you can too. But the distance is a little longer.
Sorry, Sally, this is our friend, Dewan. Dewan, this is Sally, a cleric that we met back in Yilton.
It is a pleasure to find out who you are.
Dewan. I thought I saw a familiar face. Apologies, about... She kind of gestures and then takes a breath before saying, a frankly dreadful way to meet someone new, but I'm glad to meet you nonetheless.
I'm glad we came in time to help you.
As am I. I appreciate all your assistance. All right, then. Anyone may ride Godfrey if you wish. Otherwise, let's continue on our way.
Is there a pun in this name, too?
No!
Okay.
It's just a deer called Godfrey.
So,
I just like the name.
so Sally's getting onto the deer, right?
No.
No. Okay.
She's leaving
Okay.
it for Soup and Oren.
Yeah, I will take that offer. Oren will kind of pole vault himself up and situate.
Soup looks up at the deer, looks at Sally, and he goes,
Well, I was gonna give it to you later, but here, need my help.
and he gives her the boots with the sewn needle and thread that's all like jacked up with the lace of pace on it.
They make you fast. Real fast.
She looks and smiles. She's taking a look down at it and pulls it up from your grasp. She's like, oh, but these are rather lovely. However, they don't currently match what I'm wearing. And I really like these shoes. And she kind of looks down and takes a look. That's just the thing. She goes ahead and kind of takes it with her free hand, lays both of the boots in her palm. You see a slight glow as this magic begins to surge down across her arm and through. You see... Sorry, Tyler just threw me off there. The Nightbot came up with... The Nightbot came up with the donations from the goat session. It's like, $8, introduce a farm animal of your choice. So Tyler's like, I introduce a farm animal. Don't mind if I do. Suddenly, just a random cow in the center of this forest.
See, and then if this was the gods we know, Desmond would blow it up. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. So as this magic begins to pulse, you watch as the shoes are essentially taken apart to their base components. The threads and the leather that they are made out of seem to fall away and undo themselves. As they stretch up across her arm, they wrap themselves around her neck, and it travels up past her face. You watch her hair begin to lift slightly, as with both the lace of pace and the boots being slowly changed and manipulated into this rather nice and delicate bow that now sits on the top of her head. She immediately smiles and then continues moving.
He just kind of shrugs and gets on the deer. He looks back at Eridan and Dewan, and it's just like,
what about them?
I can only make one, but they've got longer legs. They can keep up.
Yeah, no, I'm fine walking.
I prefer to walk. It's fine.
She kind of smiles, half joking, half apologetic. She meets all of your eyes in a rather sincere and endearing way, nods, and then begins to carry onwards. Anybody else, anybody doing anything during the trip, or are we just going to go ahead and kind of make our way post-haste?
I want to race this deer at one point.
In cat form, yes?
If you mean by, if by cat form you mean shifted form, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So you begin eyeing this deer up, kind of looking, and it looks incredibly realistic, but it also looks, it is very much still a stitched creature. You see this stitched eye kind of turn to you. Almost a sense of determination comes across it. As Orin and Soup, you feel a sudden jolt as this deer races off. Go ahead and roll an athletics check for me.
That was a 10.
Okay. It's only rolled a 4. So
Oh.
your kung fu is not strong.
Oh.
everyone sees a rather strange race between this deer bolting forwards and this suddenly shifted cleric has begun sprinting forwards. you kind of draw this arbitrary line, kind of unconsciously between each other as you're dashing forwards. You manage to just gain on the deer itself as you go ahead and pretty much like 2 full strides forwards across this arbitrary finish line.
I mean, it is called swift stride, not swift sprint.
True.
But
All right, I'm gonna go now. It was great. It's been great.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, stop this thing! Wow!
Aye, the sisters! Aye!
As you are bringing yourselves forwards through, back out of the forest now, across this pathway, you approach to these twin villages, and the first thing that catches you is not the sight, it's not the smell, it's the sound. You hear a voice emanating almost rhythmically across the airwaves. As you begin approaching Janezo, the voice is getting louder and louder. The voice is powerful and practiced, but deliberate. As you step now into the boundaries of this small village itself, you can see straight in the middle of the road these villages. They seem like relatively common folk, but are currently going through some kind of drilling routine, some kind of practice routine, as they're holding their makeshift weapons. They seem to be following the commands of an individual that is on the other side of this little roadway. Mara, would you like to tell us what your character looks like?
Sure. So Mara is fairly tall. She's very commanding presence. She's wearing midnight blue studded leathers. She has mocha brown skin. Her hair is naturally curly, kind of in a fro. She's got hazel eyes once you get close enough to see her. She's got 2 pretty fancy scimitars strapped to her back. And you would hear her telling them, "Rise up. You need to defend your village. Rise up." And you see her with her hand over her heart in a fist, and she's thumping on her chest as she says this.
And as you're watching this take place, you're now seeing these villagers move. Those with longer polearm weapons, as soon as Mara strikes her chest, their polearms strike the ground. For those that do not, their feet tap on the ground rhythmically, creating this in time almost dance routine, as it were, as they are moving and practicing to Mara's command. You see Sally immediately stop and take a look. Well, this is new. Anyone, and she pauses for a moment. You're all a bit odd. Does anyone know this individual? The party.
You think because we're odd, we know every weird person that's ever graced the Veka's surface. Come on.
I think that's exactly what Sally is inferring.
Never been real good at music.
Says a magic
No,
seamstress.
suddenly is like, am I weird?
Sally kind of stares at Orin during the "says the magical seamstress" comment. Pauses for a moment. I suppose that's fair. All right, fine. Just
No, to answer your question, no, I've never seen that person before in my life.
I assume they have not.
I don't think anybody here would have met Mara before now. Your paths would not have crossed previously.
Even if
Sally begins.
Eridan and Mara have crossed paths, Eridan would not know. Eridan would have no idea.
But
So she's totally shocked when Mara comes up and just puts a big fat kiss on her.
Oh, that would be a plot
Wait.
twist and a half.
Wait. Are you for real right now?
Everybody freeze!
That would be a plot twist and a half, and I would be here for it. But anyway.
Marry me. Okay. Anyway.
Yeah, Sally steps forward a couple of paces and just says, excuse me? Well met. What's going on here?
Mara would tell the townsfolk, keep at it. I'll answer their questions. And she would turn around to face the party and walk towards them. And she'd walk up to Sally. Well met. How may I be of assistance?
It's been a while since I've been to this village, but this is most assuredly a farming town, and I'm rather confused. What is going? Sorry. Sally. These are my current companions. And she kind of turns and points to everybody.
Orin's gonna jump down from Godfrey and just kind of run up and, Oi, name's Orin Thistlefoot. Nice to meet you. What's your name?
She'd put her hand out. I'm Mara Katani.
Mara. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you. That's quite the song you've been performing there. Is that some type of military exercise?
You could say that. It's kind of military base bardic arts.
Bardic arts. You're a performer, are you?
I am. I'm here helping these folks. They have a bit of a worm infestation.
Worm in, like small wrigglies or big creepy crawlies?
Big creepy crawlies.
At least it's a wee bit more fun.
Seems to be a problem in multiple places, it seems.
Does Mara have...
Is it happening other places as well?
has it happened in other places, right? Specifically in my village.
The party have encountered a Kruthic infestation in Zatane. So far, that's the only knowledge that anyone would know of any particular infestations as of yet in terms of insects. It definitely has not hit Keen.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Are these? Do you know what these creatures are called? Are they Kruthics by chance?
I don't know, Ray. Are they? Nope.
No. These are worms. These
just
are wormy worms. They are not nice worms, and they don't
Are
really
they
have a
worms
name.
with an O or worms with a Y?
a U?
Worms with an O, not a U and not a Y. I'm not gonna make you fight a nest of dragons.
I swear to God.
I mean,
Whittums. Does Mara have any sort of like military insignia anywhere?
No.
Okay. Soup will hop down, kind of waddle up next to Orin and go,
Namesake. Nice speech.
Thanks. She shakes your hand.
do you need help with the infestation at all? Is there anything we can do?
Sure. This town's. I was just passing through, so I'm sure they would love a helping hand.
And
You seen
afford
any
to
of these
give a
worms?
helping hand right now.
You also need a helping hand?
I said, can we afford to give a helping hand right now?
Perhaps
Oh.
a rest first would be an idea.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, what time of day is it right
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean like right now.
Everyone's at 12 HP. Okay, go.
now? We had that prayer of healing. Orin's ready to go.
Everyone's at 18 HP. Okay, go.
Wait, is that how much HP Dewan has?
No, Dewan has 26.
Oh no, you
It's
have
not
less,
much more.
You have less than me.
Oh gosh.
Oh no.
I have 26 HP. I am made of glass. Don't touch me.
I was gonna say.
I need a nap.
I'm sure the villagers will be happy to share with what they have.
I have a friend I can check in with who definitely has enough space to take us all, although I can't guarantee it will be a comfortable stay, but it'll certainly be a stay.
We'll take whatever we can get. Thanks a lot, Sally.
You are most welcome. And her attention turns back to Mara. You said you were just passing through. I do not wish to pry in other people's business, but I am curious. Would you be willing to share what you were traveling to?
I've just been traveling around helping those who need it. I did just come from the singing crystals. They were glorious.
Oh, did you pass through that too?
Yes,
Very pretty, isn't it? So,
it is amazing.
Where are you from?
Endir?
Ray, where is that?
yeah, would Orin know that by chance?
Yes, Endir is one of the countries to the north of the continent that you are currently on. In terms of kind of climate and culture, Endir is a little bit more stereotypically fantasy-esque than some of the other areas in Vega. Endir is very much the majority forests. Various different kinds and various different kinds of plant life, but majority forests. The interesting thing about Endir is that there are some specific creatures that have evolved in a very specific way due to the predators and prey in the ecosystem, which means that there are quite a few creatures in Endir that can't be found anywhere else because they can't survive anywhere else. Yeah, overall, most areas are cold. It is kind of stereotypically a kingdom. Definitely has, unlike Ansaya, the country next to it, which is very much one monarch and that's it. Endir is very much a more traditional, old school medieval hierarchy. There are dukes, there are duchesses, there are knights, etc.
You just come down here and be nice?
I couldn't stay settled where I was. So yes, I've come to explore and be nice.
Well, I know that feeling when the wanderlust just kind of grabs you, makes you want to go. That's how I found the monastery.
You wandered to a monastery?
I wandered around. I'm from Lathankala. It's the continent and across the sea. And I wandered for a couple of years after I left my town and found a monastery, trained there, Crimson Wood, and he kind of like gestures at his gi and especially the tree tattoo that is underneath that stretches up to his neck.
You must have bad wanderlust that even a place of solace like a monastery couldn't keep you.
Well,
Whew.
that's why they call me the Rootless One.
Yep, he likes to wander. So you gonna come with us, or?
Come with you to rest? No, I'm going to help them. But we'll be here, trying to protect the village. If you need something.
Is this an immediate threat? Are they like attacking right now, or is this something we may be able to sit down and plan for?
Ray?
There have been a few attacks over the last few weeks. They seem to be separated every few days. When you arrived, they'd already taken quite a few attacks. Although they only lost a few villagers, their crops have been severely damaged.
Okay, that was gonna be my question. Is this like the crops are in danger, or like the villagers are in danger?
The villagers were only attacked when they attempted to defend their crops. The ones who were not in the area were very much left alone. However, as a small farming village, the crops are the most important thing in town, other than the people in it. It's not a super immediate threat. You definitely have a couple of days to figure things out. But you're probably still trying to get everyone in the best shape that you possibly can. After all, these are not warriors. They are not soldiers. They are people with pitchforks and knives.
And she would have been trying to tell them we could try to find out the worm's motivation and try to come up with an alternate plan, but she was still teaching them how to defend themselves in case it comes to that again.
Pardon me, but are they injured?
Yes.
Is there a hospital or a makeshift care tent? Where are the injured being taken care of? I'd like to help where I can.
And she would call over one of the villagers.
And I would go over there. Volunteer work. Woo.
Mm-hmm. You run into one of the villagers who goes ahead and quickly kind of ushers you in the direction. They give a very low, thankful bow to Mara as they make their way. With you in tow to what appears to be one of the stables that has been kind of turned into a very, very, very makeshift infirmary.
I would get to work. I think I would just start pulling some poultices and NPC healing potions out of my bag.
As you find yourself now kind of in the infirmary, you go ahead and step through this kind of very open gateway. It is very clear that this town has no healers. There are some very shoddily made bandages and tourniquets with very little actual medical solvent involved. No salves, no healing potions, no herbs, just pretty much like emergency first aid stuff, and that's about it. You can go ahead and start getting to work as the rest of the party is still with Mara. There are probably about 4 individuals here. Not mortally wounded. With your skills, actually, roll a medicine check. Why not? Let's roll a dice. We do that here.
I guess.
Sometimes.
That's a dirty 20.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah, with your excuse me. With your medical knowledge, your medical skill, and your previous patience, you can spend a couple of hours here and have everyone ready for a full recovery within a few weeks.
Excellent. Nice. Yay, I help. I heal.
Go, healer, go!
Soup's gonna look at Mara kind of like quizzically and say,
Well, you're pretty good at leading these here people, but you say they don't know nothing about defending themselves?
Yeah, they're mostly farmers. So, I mean, besides the occasional wolf or fox, they really have no military skills.
when you look at Soup, he's got a lot of battle scars on him, and he has a lot of weapons on him, and he just kind of looks at you and goes,
I can help with that. Give him about an hour.
Okay, we'll be here.
you see him just like taking a bunch of stuff out of his pack, and he's just like messing with all sorts of things.
Okay. Cool.
So the rest of you need to rest, I heard.
We took quite the beating when we ran into our new friends. I think I can speak for everyone when I say a nap might do us some good. I know Adam, who tends to some of the stables. He'll go ahead and look after us. Well, he'll give us a place to stay. It's probably a more accurate turn of phrase.
Well, if you don't mind, I'd like to accompany you and maybe help you with your rest.
She kind of nods for a moment before going ahead and kind of readjusting the tourniquet that she's sewed. If you wouldn't mind, actually, I'd like to ask a few questions, if you would care to follow us for a bit. I'd like to know a little bit more about how you stumbled upon this place, as a fellow traveler.
Sure. I will accompany you. Let me just let the folks know. And she walks back over there and says she's going to go help these travelers to keep up their things, or they can go ahead and take a break, have lunch.
Oh yeah, did we say what time of day it is?
It's probably late afternoon at this point.
Okay, dinner.
Yeah, mid to late afternoon.
Mara, have there been a certain spot that's had more attacks than anything else?
No, it seems to be, the crops.
It's just the crops then. All right. And you're gonna see his tattoo kind of glow, and this like fire energy kind of goes into his arm. He's gonna touch the ground, and he's gonna lift it up, and out kind of pops this humanoid shape of like magma, and it kind of looks like a little stone golem, and he goes, "Hello, Jack. I want you to keep guard. I want you to walk around, and if you see any creepy crawlies, any wormies, you let me know. Send up a flare or something."
It kind of does this awkward salute with the hand it doesn't quite have, as it kind of gives itself a little shake and begins kind of doing this very exaggerated military march around the perimeter of this crop field, and you just hear as it moves along.
Love that spell. Well, if anything attacks, he'll let us know.
Okay.
This is very odd, as you've just essentially seen someone tap their tattoo and molten magma just pour out of their fist and kind of turn into this little animated man.
She's probably pretty shocked, but she's keeping it to herself, keeping her cool.
Just like, wow, they are weirdos.
Gosh.
Okay. So
So
you
she
have this.
Follow
Sorry, go
Sally.
We'll tag along.
ahead. Mm-hmm.
Soup's just making a mess tent.
Okay. Yeah, you have this little magma construct now patrolling the outside of the crops area. You see everyone kind of stand to attention as Mara is speaking, and as soon as Mara begins to leave with Sally, you watch as their entire bodies kind of relax a little bit. They go ahead and pull some like granola from their bag and just start kind of eating through it. They start having their kind of regular discussions and kind of, oh, that Mara, awfully tough. Awfully, but I'm feeling pumped. I'm feeling ready. Yeah, you're right. Like there's something about it. Like I'm feeling, I'm tough. Yeah. So they just, it's a rather positive atmosphere that is beginning to fill the kind of area. So you can go ahead and get a small mess tent set up as Eridan and Orin are making their way.
Actually, Eridan's like super quiet. I think she stays behind and helps Soup set up the tent. She doesn't say anything.
Okay. So Eridan goes ahead and helps Soup with the tent.
It makes it so much easier because setting up a tent as a very small person is hard. He definitely makes use of your height.
Oh, I'm sure. Yes, I had the thought. I was like, oh, I help.
He's not used to having you help him, so he just kind of looks back at you and is like,
Hey, Eridan, could you push that up there?
Yep, got it.
Thanks.
he just keeps like randomly asking you to do stuff.
Eridan appreciates that a lot. She's not super talkative right now.
He keeps you busy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mara and Oren, as you follow Sally up, you catch in the corner of your eye the occasional flash of magic mixed with the slight tapping of a mortar and pestle as you see Dewan off to the side, probably about 60 foot, 70 foot away in this large kind of run-down stable. They appear to be tending to some individuals' wounds. As you go ahead and head up a slight incline over to one of the many rather dilapidated houses around here. They're not particularly well-kept establishments. A little bit of Stream Kitty. Sorry, I saw Stream Kitty and it's just
a little bit of Stream Kitty.
Yes, in the town itself is Stream Kitty. No. One day I'll spring that on you. There is just a giant cat. You are welcome. These houses are pretty run down. They're not particularly fantastic. They definitely haven't been worked on or looked after particularly well, but they do seem like very, very old buildings. You find yourself brought into the porch, so to speak, of one of the bigger houses. You hear a knock, knock, knock. You just hear, go away. Leave me alone. She pauses for a moment, just knock, knock, knock. You hear doosh, 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 a very heavy, deliberate footsteps. As the door opens, you see a rather muscly but also rather portly individual who is standing and takes one look at the group. They seem to be wearing very kind of basic, scraggy, kind of like commoner's clothes, covered in what appears to be oil, strangely. Oil and a few other kind of stains across their shirt. And yes, a rather muscly butt, absolutely. as they go ahead and kind of slick back this rather greasy ginger hair, they kind of push it and seem to, with one hand, tie it into a kind of a very low ponytail. They just look and, oh, hello, Sally. It's been a while. Come hug your uncle. I would really rather not. Could you get dressed first? What are you talking about? You brought guests! Hello! And he kind of takes these huge arms and just kind of wraps them past Sally, trying to reach the two of you at the same time.
Duck slightly.
Seeing you duck, he kind of pauses and just, oh, shit, I should have asked for permission. Sorry. 1,000 apologies. I'm Adam. Hello. And, welcome. He kind of smiles and sticks his hand out a little bit. He kind of leans back, looks through the door. Oi, you lot. We got company. Best behavior. Well, come in then. Come in. He twists his way around and begins to step back. It's kind of like half a kind of military step and half a waddle, as he's kind of very, very definitively heel toe, moving into this building. Sally just pauses for a moment and just...
Well, I would say to Sally, well, he's got great rhythm.
She nods. And that kind of blank face just covers her expression as she goes ahead and steps inside.
I love Mara. I stan.
The first thing you hear is, oh, best behavior. Step inside, and there's the flutter and flapping of wings as from across your view, a small parrot lands on a perch next to you. As you're now looking around, you notice, before anything else in this room, there are probably 24 perches scattered across the entire house, as there are multiple birds sat in various different areas of the room, all seemingly doing their thing until you step inside, where they all one by one kind of catch your attention. Their heads kind of turn and cock in that kind of inquisitive way.
Oh, Mara claps her hands and goes, oh, my lovelies. And then she starts whistling a little song.
Lovelies. And as soon as you start whistling, one of them begins to whistle very similarly, but slightly out of key, as birds tend to do. Another one joins in, and another one joins in, as you just hear Adam go, don't, they're tone deaf. Stop. Oh, apart from this one, he kind of points up to like this very, very, very small orange bird. It's probably like the size of your middle finger. This thing is tiny, as it just kind of sits and replicates what you whistled perfectly, note for note.
What's its name, Ray? What's its name? What is this
You're
tiny
not
little...
there, Dewan.
What is this tiny little yellow bird name?
Orange bird.
Orange. So.
Boy, that's quite the impressive specimen you've got there, Adam. What's his name by chance?
I hate you.
Curse.
But unfortunately for you, he has a name. He kind of looks, just. Oh yeah, this one. Kind of gives it a little scratch across the chest. This one's Mango.
Yep. I was wondering what fruit you were gonna name it after. Yeah, you did name it Orange. It's pretty good.
He smiles again and kind of he kind of opens his arms and takes a look around and just. These are my lasses, my lovely ladies. They help me out with the daily chores.
Oh my god, he's Cinderella!
What are you here for anyway? Sally kind of pipes up, like kind of cringing a little bit at the birds as she's walking past. I am my friends here and we have a few more and they're a little exhausted, and I was hoping as another one flutters by, she kind of ducks down and begins to shake a little bit. She says, we were hoping you would have a little space for us to put our heads down. And she she's stepping forward, she's just locked eyes with Mango now, as this little bird is just staring back and just repeatedly whistling the little tonal phrase that Mara whistled.
Mara's just going around giving them all scritches.
And you can see they have each one has a very small collar around its little bird neck, and it each has a different fruit attached to the collar itself.
This one's mango. This one's banana.
Yep. There's a yellow one called banana. There's
Jack.
a speckled red one called strawberry.
Kiwi?
There is a so brown on the outside with a green belly that's kiwi.
Is there passion fruit?
Are you gonna make me name all 24 birds? Because I'm not gonna be okay with this.
This one's Passion,
I
this
mean-
one's Star, this one's Jack, and this one's the.
Yes, they all have various different fruits on their collars. And as you've now stepped fully in, you can see Adam appears to be standing next to a very, very large bowl. And he's just, well, why didn't you say so when you arrived? I got you. Don't worry about it. He smiles and points to the other end of the room. It's like, there's a hatch down there in the so you can go down to the fruit cellar. Plenty of space. It's a little cold and probably smells pretty fruity, but it's dry and better than this lot waking you up. And he kind of looks specifically towards one bird, as the bird almost seems to fly from its perch onto his shoulder and just, yeah, that's right, I'm talking about you, rascal. Just kind of gives it a scratch on the head.
Well, Adam, we appreciate it very much. As you can tell by the state of me, we've been in quite a bit of a scrap. So a nice little rest would be very much appreciated. And thank you very much. Name's Oren, by the way. Nice to meet you, and I'll actually reach out and shake his hand. Shake his hand, not hug.
He seems a little disappointed, but he understands as he nods and gives you an incredibly firm handshake. It's probably about now that you realize how big this person's hands actually are. They are
Especially
quite-
to a halfling.
Yeah. They would probably be able to dwarf a regular human's handshake with just the size of their general build. To a halfling, your hand is almost enveloped in his kind of muscular grip.
Oh, he could palm my skull.
He can do what?
He can palm my skull like a basketball, just.
Love it. Love it. Yeah. So he goes ahead and shakes your hand, kind of gives a pat on Sally's healthy shoulder currently. Just, you're the one that's been helping out the town.
Yes.
It's Mara. I don't think we've had the pleasure of making her acquaintance. Adam. He stretches his hand out.
Oh no, I'm a hugger. Come in.
You watch as there's the biggest smile across his face as he's, knew I liked you. And he stretches around and gives you it's a very tight hug, but it's not aggressively tight. It's that kind of secure, I've got you, you're not going anywhere for a few seconds hug, where it's just like, yep, nope, you are safe here kind of thing. He goes ahead and lets go and gives you a pat on the shoulder. Just tell you what, as a thank you for, everything. And he twists around, takes a look around. He's really confused for a second. Where? Blackberry, what you done with it? He turns around to one of the birds. Go on, go get it. Well, go on. The bird stops for a moment, looks around, just, a little chirp as it flies across to the other end of the room. Seems to dive almost underneath this cabinet and begins to tug at this small container that it clearly stowed and hid away before flying up and dropping it just into Mara's hand. It is a small container of what appears to be some kind of smoothie.
Thank you. Put it in her pouch. She's beautiful.
Blackberry.
Yes.
She's lovely. And a rascal. But lovely. All the same.
When she's not stealing things.
He nods again before saying, aye. At any rate, you are more than welcome to stay downstairs. As I say, apologies if it's a little cramped. There's a lot of fruit down there, but go ahead and help yourselves to anything down there. And if you need anything else, just ask Uncle Adam. You'll be fine.
Oh, thank you very much. I think I'm actually going to step out and try to find the other members of my party. I believe that Soup might actually be preparing something. He's quite the cook. You might want to come check it out.
I don't think you can make fruit soup. I don't think that's a thing you can do, unfortunately. I can try, but I mean, I don't think... doesn't quite...
No, I just meant he's very good with cooking.
He's good at soup. He's good at making soup.
No,
he makes much more than that. His name is Soup. It's spelled differently.
Oh, is it?
It's he says it is like the sound of an arrow. It's that.
Oh, makes sense.
I love
Yeah,
that
so-
so much.
I think he spells it SOOP, but I'm not quite sure.
It doesn't stop me from getting hungry every time you say it.
Well, if you're getting hungry, he's probably whipping something up, and it's probably mighty tasty.
He pauses for a moment, and suddenly his eyes just go wide as he's... Perfect. One moment. He appears to pick up, as he's twisting around, he appears to pick up this strange, almost leather, almost a tool belt. But he goes ahead and pulls it upwards and wraps it around his chest and ties it across. On his back seems to be almost mounted this huge collection of fruits, drinks, juices, and smoothies that he just has all across his back now. He probably has a solid 30 bottles just mounted to his back, essentially, as he goes ahead and does that kind of military walk / waddle forwards and just lead the way.
I'm gonna see Sally tucked in. I will meet you back at the tent in a while.
All right. Come on, follow me. And hit forward.
He smiles and kind of drops a hand on Oren's shoulder as you see Sally turns toward you and just go, "Thank you." Just mouthed under hushed breaths.
And he'll just guide him out and go over to Soup's little mess tent.
All right.
While this has been happening, Eridan, you would notice that Soup is purposefully not really talking much to you. He's mostly just doing things and having you do things. Once you guys get the mess tent set up, he asks you to go make targets, stand-up posts and stuff to hit with weapons, because he's trying to do 2 jobs at once. And he goes, because it's a farming community, he immediately gets really excited and goes to find fresh ingredients, and then comes back after investing a bunch of money into the community as much as he can, and then comes back and starts cooking.
And then, so while he's doing that, Eridan's setting up the post. Okay. Got it. Yeah, Eridan will work on that. She's kind of not all there at the moment. Autopilot.
He kind of takes one of the swords off your keychain of swords that you have now, and hands it to you, and it's just
Can hit stuff if you want. Sometimes it makes you feel better.
Sometimes.
He grins.
Just puts a hand on your shoulder, gives it a squeeze. Thank you.
I'm gonna go cook now.
Boop, 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 takes off.
Would this count as a short rest?
You certainly could count it as a short rest if you'd like.
Could I use Arcane Recovery?
Okay.
I want to use Arcane Recovery, which I haven't specified using before because I forget about it.
You know, that thing that makes wizards? Yeah,
up to a combined level of 3. Okay, so I can get a 3rd level spell back. Excellent.
3rd level or below, correct.
Great. Okay. That's what I'm gonna do. Because I'm gonna do something later. But I wanted to make sure I read it right.
Okay. You go ahead and... I think as a blade singer, for you, combat training is, in a way, your way of peace. Being able to flow back and switch off your mind and just suddenly fall back into your muscle memory, your movements, your strikes. It's cathartic in a way.
I don't know if I've ever mentioned this in game, but Eridan's fighting style. I think Ray actually sent it to me, but it's kind of like wushu. It's almost like dancerly sword movements.
Yeah, very twirly, very twisty, very much based on athleticism and speed and movement rather than just pure strengths. But it's rather cathartic as you're just falling back into old habits. You can go ahead and use your Arcane Recovery to get back a spell slot as you are practicing on these targets. Some time will pass for Eridan and Soup and Dawan. It'd probably be Dawan that would hear it first, as a door closes in the distance, you hear an immense jingle, jangle, jingle. As you turn your head back, you see Orin leading this very large, very muscular, but rather burly individual. A little rotund. Clearly enjoys his food, but also could definitely like punch someone's head off if they wanted to. Strolling down the street with this large collection of full glassware on their back. And he appears to be kind of just having this quick discussion with Orin of just, so, you got a lovely tattoo there.
Oh, thank you very much. It's the crest of the monastery that I trained at, the Brotherhood of the Crimson Wood.
Monastery. Good for you. Don't have the patience. I barely have the patience dealing with that lot.
I don't really have a lot of patience either, but meditation helps with that, actually.
I think
Strangely enough.
Dawn would fall into line with them as they have this conversation, like not saying a word yet, just wiping her hands and like.
I need to point out that Tyler said fruit soup, huh? I'd love to see a twink soup. And I needed, okay.
God damn it.
Carry on.
God damn it.
We love to see it.
Hot tub!
Good lord.
So Dawn sneaks up on Orin and Adam, which is
Are you
confusing.
sneaking, or are you just not?
Right.
Like, are you trying to remain kind of incognito, or are you just kind of falling in line?
I'm just kind of falling in line, and if they're too wrapped up in their conversation to not notice me, then they're too wrapped up in their conversation to not notice me.
Ooh, I'm
Okay.
gonna do it. I'm gonna go ahead and do it.
Yeah, roll a perception check.
Yep.
I love it.
11.
Okay, Birdman Adam has no idea. Birdman Adam and actual Adam have no idea. Pretty sure you're pretty dexy, so you're probably you're pretty good at just kind of. He's super into finding out about you and your monastery and where you kind of lived. He's like, so are you the tattooist, or did someone else get it done? Because like it seems rather difficult to like go ahead and like you know like you might just keep going down. Have you tattooed your nipple? Like, does that hurt?
No, it doesn't.
Going down?
Right. It doesn't quite breach out. The trunk comes down, and it's you know, they're fine.
Right. I got it.
Okay. Dawn's laughing.
We don't want to hurt the twins. Like that'll be a very painful experience. No. Oh
No, getting the tattoo is painful enough. Oh,
There's
Dawn.
just a quiet chuckle at they're fine.
Oh, I didn't hear you. I didn't hear you there. How are you doing? How is all the farmers? Are they all right and all healed up from the attacks?
They're fine.
That's very nice. This is Adam. He has a lot of birds, and he makes a lot of soups. Oh no, sorry, smoothies, fruit soups.
Not fruit soups. They're smoothies. You can't do a fruit soup. It doesn't work. Fruit. No.
Little did
Hello.
Drinks.
Little did Adam know that in the 21st century there would be this thing called a smoothie bowl, which is effectively
Fruit soup.
Gosh.
When you describe Adam as owning a lot of birds and making lots of fruit and fruit soups, you'll see Dawn's nose just kind of flare a little bit and go, yes, you have a very fascinating aura around you.
Oh yeah, well I did bring all of my wonderful concoctions and ingredients. He kind of leans in just a touch as you're still walking. He's like, I failed alchemy, but I'm good at cooking. So this kind of feels like alchemy if I walk around like this, you see. It's pretty good, honestly. And my husband loves it.
How wonderful. I have been known to dabble in some mixing of other things, and like I'll give my satchel a little shake and you'll also hear glass just clanging against each other.
Oh my god.
But yes. Well, I can't wait to try some of your fruit soup smoothies.
You're nice. You can call it fruit soup if you want, but that's not what it is. But yes, can't wait to show you. In fact, one of your friends has got a little bit of a taster, but I'd like to give a taster to all of you, since you're so kind for staying and everything. You'll have to pick your favorite fruit, though.
We really appreciate you helping us out, letting us rest a little bit. Of course, the dinner that's awaiting you, that's part of the payment, but we'll be happy to help out the town as well.
You still need to show me this guy made of soup.
Oh, did you mention soup to him?
I did.
He does realize that soup is not actually made of soup.
No, he is
not. You do realize that soup is not made of soup.
No, he's a kobold.
I know that. I know. I totally know that. It's fine. No worries. It's swiftly on. His face kind of speeds up a little bit as you lead him through.
I'm going to bend down to Oren. I think he thought soup was actually made of soup.
I think a lot of people actually get that impression before they actually meet him.
Unbelievable.
And as you...
Dawn thinks of the implications that people are readily able to believe that someone is made of soup.
Okay, but do they think that soup is made of soup, or is it like... See, my first picture was like a glass warforge with soup in it.
It's just the Kool-Aid man.
Stop.
Wait, Ray. Does that exist?
Oh, that's not something I thought of. Just knocking at the door, no answer, crashes through, and all of a sudden you just hear, "Oh yeah!"
Okay, but Ray, can that exist?
No. No, it cannot. We cannot have a soup Kool-Aid man. Oh my lord.
So yes, as you're approaching, you hear a lot of chopping noises, like hissing, and the tent is starting to get kind of hot. You see that there's a fire that is built in the center, and there is like a vent in the top of it so that the smoke all goes out. And Soup is up on a stool that he has put together, and he has his knife set out, and he's just chopping onions and tomatoes and peppers.
Mm-hmm.
He has a little chef hat on.
Just before you folks step in, I am going to cut real quick over to Mara and Sally. After Adam has left, Sally goes ahead and kind of is still dodging birds and is a little nervous as they step to the other side of the room.
I cast Speak with Animals and get the birds. Like, listen, she's a little frightened of you guys. Mm-hmm. Be calm.
Frightened? Frightened
of
us?
Yeah, I know. I don't understand it either, but she is. And she's going to be staying here. So can you please be nice to her? I promise you'll get extra treats.
They're about to say, we're good. Treats?
Yes.
Treats?
Yes. I will make sure you get extra treats if you are nice to her and don't freak her out too much.
You watch as they all like quickly dart between each other as you're saying this. And suddenly they all jump from where they're currently sitting and take flight and very swiftly push themselves to the very corner, opposite corner of the room, where 2 or 3 of them take the same perch and kind of cluster together. And as they land, they tuck themselves in as tight as they can and just kind of stare at you.
And then I'll turn to Sally. Okay, while you're staying here, you shouldn't have any more problems with them. They should leave you be.
She pauses for a moment, just looks. That was interesting. Are you a princess? She kind of turns towards you and just looks you dead in the eye.
Yes. Yes, I am.
Questions for later. She goes ahead and opens up this hatch and steps down into the cellar.
And I go down there with her. So I'd like to sing you a song to help you relax.
Oh, that's rather kind of you. She pulls a small bit of cloth from the back of her robe and kind of crumples it in her hand and throws it outwards. And as she throws it out, the threads extend into a small kind of plush mat that rests now on the ground. The room itself is relatively cold, but is actually incredibly neat. You can see that each fruit has been individually coded by taste and by color in rows of barrels. They've all been marked with the specific fruit, and there seems to be a large chart pinned to the wall in parchment of various different recipes that are attached there.
Does your uncle grow these, or does he have them shipped in?
Sorry, shaking off the birds. He grows them. It's one of the reasons I come by. As interesting as his personality is, he's a good person, he's family, and I rather enjoy his drinks.
This is amazing.
I suppose it is. In its own way. And she kind of points towards the tapestry and says, I made that when I was 14. He was getting a little muddled with some of his recipes as he was getting a little older. He may not look it, but he's getting towards almost his 70s now. He is a good man. Anyway, I thought I'd give him a hand, and I was still discovering my abilities, so she kind of points back to the tapestry.
That's amazing work.
Why, thank you. You flatten me. She still seems kind of a little nervous. She's just kind of calming down. She says, I heard you whistling. You're rather good with your tunes. Perhaps some relaxation is good. Do you drink tea?
Yes, I do.
She goes into her little satchel and kind of pulls out 2 almost like thermos-like contraptions. She's like, these were the best investment I ever bought. Fantastic. They always keep the heat in, no need for magic. She passes over a little, one of the thermoses to you.
She opens it.
It is very herbal. It's very earthy. It's quite a pleasant and rather strong smell that comes out. She goes ahead and takes a sip.
She drinks as well.
As you do so, it is certainly a more earthy tea. You can already feel yourself slightly purified of today's events as this feeling of this kind of relaxation crosses over you.
And she starts humming, and it's kind of to the tune of Drift Away by Dobie Gray. I don't know if you guys have heard that song.
Nope, but you gotta post it now. We have a music share in the Discord for a reason.
But yeah, so she basically does the Song of Rest to help her get hit points restored.
Okay, wonderful. She's sitting there and listening to you. She waits politely as you reach towards the end of a part and just says, "Was it something you had naturally, or were you taught by someone?"
Well, you see, my father is the master of dance from where I'm from. And my mother, she is a knight of the realm.
Quite the mixture.
Yes, so I kind of mix my artistic and my martial together.
A worthy mixture indeed. Apologies if I'm poking a little too much. I'm always interested in interested things, you see. That's how I met this group in the this group met me in the first place. I was going to help them study their sword, but it seems like they know a lot more information since I last met them. I hope that this situation they were dealing with has let up a little bit. She kind of sullens a little bit in her expression.
Are you planning on staying here with your uncle for a while?
Honestly, I wasn't, but she takes another sip of her drink. She settles in, and the slight concern fades as she rests now back into that tune that is still kind of ringing through her ears, even though you yourself have stopped. I think after that particular encounter, maybe I should stop poking around for just a little while. It might be nice to have a home for a little while. Just a little while.
It seems like your uncle would appreciate it.
Yes, he probably would. He's been alone for a little while, bless him. Rest of the family is either not magically inclined or unfortunately are no longer with us, so it's pretty much just me and my two fathers. Even though he calls himself uncle, he still won't let that go. She kind of chuckles to herself and leans back a little bit. And a small smile kind of comes across her face. And she's like, "The man adopted me bloody years ago. You'd think he'd let me use it, but no." And kind of chuckles to herself.
Well, it's always good to have family around. Your friends may need help, though. Don't worry. I'll watch out for them for you.
Her mouth actually falls agape for a moment, just eyeing you over before closing her mouth again, just correcting herself at how rude that was for a moment. That would be appreciated, but perhaps you should, perhaps you should have a discussion with them and find out what you're getting into first. They are good people, but it seems like, the end of the world seems to follow them sometimes.
Those are the ones that need help the most. They can be inspired to do great things, but they also need someone to watch their backs.
She raises her cup in a toast. I'll drink to that.
Well, you rest. I will go see what the others are up to.
I appreciate your assistance, Mara. Truly. Thank you.
And she gets up, leaves, points at the birds. Leave her alone. Let her rest. And then she leaves.
You hear a couple of squawks and a distinct lack of movement as you go ahead and leave the establishment. Cool. We'll flick back to the rest of the party as they are now approaching perhaps this tent. Adam is literally just walking his way straight through.
Real quick before we get there, like I'm gonna kind of look and hopefully notice that Eridan is like off doing her thing, and I'll be like, "Look, the winged one. She just suffered a great loss, so maybe just be calm around her, please."
Oh.
No offense, just.
Oh, I got this. And he nods and smiles.
Oh, shit, I shouldn't have said anything.
No, Dawn is going to
I
block
take
his
it back. I take it and put it back.
And object in motion.
Dawn's going to step in and be like, Adam, here, meet Soup. Soup. Adam.
Oren, Dawan, roll a strength check for me.
No.
Because
Yes.
Adam is 6'4", but he's also like close to 500 pounds. He is a heavy boy, and most of it is muscle.
Can't I roll like deception or
You are
persuasion?
attempting to hold him in place
No.
as he is trying to barrel past you. You can try a deception if you want. But...
I would like to try a deception.
Mine
Go
was
on.
strength, yeah?
If you're trying to like stop him, then yeah.
Sure, I mean, then 23 because it was a natural 20.
All right.
Oh, 20!
Okay.
17.
Okay. Because it is a natural 20, I will sway in your favor because he also rolled a 23.
Oh.
But yeah, because it was a natural 20, I'll let it sway in your favor as you kind of go ahead
Oh,
and
wait,
grab him.
I'm sorry. Wrong modifier.
Still natural 20.
It's a natural 20 for a 19. I'm sorry. I was looking at the wrong spot.
It's still a natural 20, so something good will still happen. So there's still a critical success. You go ahead and dig your legs in to just straight into the ground, essentially. You're not even on your feet. You've had to drop to your knees at dead weight in order to try and hold this guy in place.
Just
You
hold
watch
his knee.
Soup, as you're cooking, you just hear across the ground
He's
as
like
gravel is
Beating
being
some eggs and he's
moved.
like,
You hear Dawan calling your name. Soup, come meet Adam.
he
Like-
drops everything, sets his hat down.
He's just dragging across. He's like, he looks down. He's like, lad, you're a little bit old to be swinging around like a toddler. Come on, get yourself up. Pulls up, turns as Dawan begins speaking, and just locks eyes with Soup suddenly. Just, oh, this is the Soup man.
So Soup has only heard Dewan say, Soup, we need your help. And so he is like barreling toward this guy and just like climbs up him. And is like,
What are you doing?
You are very fast.
I like your limes. Can I have one?
He He reaches backwards slowly to make sure that you don't make any sudden movements. He takes a lime and just like with one hand pops the cork off. He's like, on one condition, I get to taste whatever you make with it.
You gonna put my friend down?
I mean, technically your friend was on me. Yeah.
Deal.
He goes ahead and pours like some cut lime into your hand.
He takes it and he goes,
Smell like birds. Like to eat birds.
I would. I'd really rather you didn't. Thank you.
Oh,
No thanks.
birds.
You know. Yeah, like, you know, friend birds. Like you're
Yeah,
like.
bird.
That's friend birds. Like your person soup. It's not. The names are the same, but it doesn't quite. You know.
You gonna come? You gonna come cook?
You called my bluff on that one. Let's go. He kind of smiles and pats Oren a little firmly on the head before, like, doing that kind of march waddle onwards.
Totally. But like Hagrid doing it.
right?
He immediately looks at everything and he's like, you know what this needs? Grapes. Needs lots of grapes. He goes ahead and pulls like 2 vials outwards, pops the corks, and just starts, doesn't even wait for your permission. He just pours them into the recipe. He's like, trust me, it's all good.
Well, good thing that was a salsa.
You see him like he goes over, chops up like more peppers and just pours peppers into it. And he's just like,
That ought to balance it out.
and he's got like some tortillas that are like roasting over the fire on top of like a stone. And he's got like basically he's making like pork tostadas.
Nice.
Okay. It's probably about now that Mara, you go ahead and leave the house. You've been strolling for a little while before you see this mess tent that has been erected. You hear the clanging and chopping of peppers and clanging as it's being added to the recipe. You see a few of the individuals you have already met. Oren and Dewan over. You see the silhouette of Soup and Adam over to the side of the tent itself.
A really big body with a small alligator-looking head.
Yes.
Do I see Eridan?
You would hear the occasional clang of metal against wood. And you would see Eridan off to the side a little bit as you're getting a little closer. Kind of almost dance fighting in a way against these targets by herself.
I'd head over towards her.
Okay.
And I'd walk up and I'm just like, I'm Mara. I apologize. I did not catch your name earlier. She would take your hand and shake it. And she would say, whatever it is, it will be okay. You are stronger than whatever the pain that is being caused you. Believe me, I know. My husband has gone. And after it happened, I was in a place that I never thought I would climb out of. But by helping others, I was inspired to get past that pain. and you will be so inspired as well. If you ever need someone to talk to, I know you have your friends, but if you need someone who doesn't necessarily need to know everything and you just need someone to talk to, I'm here. Also, if you ever need to just spar, I'm here for that as well. Your movements were very, very fluid and beautiful.
Oh, goodness, that's, if... I know we just met, you don't really know me, but I would reciprocate if you need someone to talk to.
I will take you up on that. I'm in a good place right now, so I don't need it right now, but in the future, sure. I hear that you guys have some world-ending things maybe happening to you.
It feels like that. Don't know if it is, but I guess we'll find out.
Well, if you need someone to have your back, I would be happy to accompany you all.
You haven't even heard what we're dealing with yet. Are you sure about that?
Yes, it does not matter. I can see the great things around you all. You all can be inspired to do great things, but you do need someone to watch your back.
We've heard that a couple times. I think we'd appreciate that. We've, sort of lost a few of us. Not... well... a couple had to leave. And, another one of us sort of... not sure what happened. Just that he's not here anymore. Yeah. Sorry,
May I hug you?
and she'll nod.
And she just gives her a big old hug. Don't worry, those who are meant to be with us are always with us.
Eridan twists the ring on her finger as you say that. I know. It'd just be nice to know if he's okay or not.
What do you feel in your heart?
That he is.
Then he is. He will find his way back to you.
I hope so. Must you? Dog, sorry.
Is that a dog?
Yes. We're dog sitting. And she got distressed that I was sad.
Oh, Peppers.
Oh no.
As we all start bawling, oh!
We don't deserve pets. We just don't.
We don't deserve animals deserve to live forever. Is that right? Yes.
Now come. I think your friends would like to see you smile, and I have someone you should meet who will make you smile.
She'll tuck her sword back and follow.
All right.
Grabs her arm and takes her over to meet Adam.
You hear the familiar clinging and clanging of Soup working his magic in his mess tent kitchen. But you hear some other rattles, the rattle of glass, the sloshing of liquids. And you hear this like, now, hear me out. 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 My husband used to do this all the time with this kind of dish, all right? So, I know what you're putting in here, but if you go ahead and add, and he kind of pulls another flask, if you go ahead and add this, it'll go ahead and add just a little bit more of a kick. And it'll mean that slightly kind of herby and spicy flavor will just hit a little bit harder. Trust me on this.
He grabs it, kind of looks at it, shakes it up a little bit, pops it, and like just tastes a little bit of it. What does it taste like?
It is a mixture of kind of like earthy, more earthy fruits. It's a little odd to taste by itself. It kind of tastes a little bit like baby food. It's not pleasant on its own. It's definitely used as an ingredient rather than a drink by itself.
He looks at me and goes,
What was your name again?
I'm Sally's uncle.
Oh. Yeah.
It's like, you see him like put like do exactly as he said, just puts like a little bit in the rice and like takes some of the lime juice over top. And he goes,
You know what? I just realized something.
Mm-hmm.
Sally the only one ain't here.
Yes, and Adam kind of turns to Mara, as Mara is now stepping in with Eridan. What happened to him last, anyway? What happened to him?
She's resting.
Hi! Goes ahead and gives you a very big, enthusiastic wave. I don't think we've met. We definitely haven't met, right? I haven't forgotten you. I haven't met this one yet, right? He kind of looks to everyone else.
No, this is Eridan. Eridan.
Or he's
this
just sitting
is
there.
Sally's uncle. Well, father.
Uncle's fine. Either's fine, really, Ashley. He smiles a little bit.
Wait. Which one is it?
He kind of sighs, and you watch as he kind of shakes a second, and he slaps his hip. And as he slaps his hip, you watch as the kind of trousers he's wearing click suddenly. And out what was once kind of pressed against his legs and his rear has now popped out. And this little attached foldable cooking stool erects itself as he crouches down and takes a seat just exactly where he is. Just, well, I mean...
Does the man have a storytelling stool? Is that what you're
Yes,
doing?
he has a storytelling stool.
Okay.
Attached to his trousers. They are actually a thing in real life as well. I would like to say that too. They are a real thing.
No.
Yes. I will have to post.
By
post a
real
photo for
life,
you
he
in a
means
second.
England.
No, I think it's actually an American creation, so you get the credit for
Oh,
this.
damn it.
that was excellently put though. Roll that.
Yes. So
Oh my fucking god.
I told you they exist. I'm literally going to go ahead and throw it in the server right now as well. Those of you literally just put in like trouser seat or pants seat, and you will find a picture of it. It is utterly useless piece of technology. But it's dramatic. It's funny. Yes. So he goes ahead and takes a seat. He's like, well, I mean, technically, she's not mine. She's she's my husband's daughter. But when we went ahead and got married, and a few years later, she asked me to adopt her, so we did. And it was all very nice. We had a wonderful ceremony, and I don't know, father just seems a bit formal. I'm not, it hasn't quite fully settled in
Daddy,
yet.
Papa, anything? She
Papa, he kind of
Happy?
pauses for a moment. He's like, I kind of just, we weren't really together when I met her, so it was always kind of like, it was always Uncle Adam. And then he broke up with his other half, and we got together, and yeah. I got used to her calling me uncle, so it's just, maybe one day I'll get used to it, but right now that's just what feels more.
Oh, by the way,
applicable.
you owe the birds an extra treat.
I what now?
You owe the birds an extra treat.
What do you mean I owe them an extra? What did you say to him?
I told them to leave Sally alone and let her rest. And I told them they would get an extra treat for being good.
Lovely voice and negotiable. Great. What have I got myself into? Yeah, all right. He kind of wipes a little bit off his brow, and
Oh, by the way, Eridan, he has 24 parrots.
Oh,
And they're all named after fruits. They are quite lovely.
that is a lot of birds.
That's so many birds.
I have a lot of them. Yeah.
Real nice to meet you. I'll be right back. You take over for a little bit.
Absolutely. As he stands, you hear another pop as these
There's-
steel legs attach back to his trousers.
He like digs his claws just a little bit into his shoulder. And he's like,
Don't add any more fruit.
please.
Certainly.
Thank you. He like, takes his claws out. And he goes back to wherever Mara came from.
Okay.
He puts
You
his
can go
head on
ahead
top of
and
Adam's head.
So much information.
You can go ahead and follow that trail back, and Adam deliberately waits about 3 seconds before he turns to the party and says, "He didn't say anything about vegetables." He looks at the pot and just starts pulling another tincture from his back, pops it, I'm gonna make this the best thing you've ever eaten.
I can't
Promise?
believe I didn't take Mage Hand. It didn't feel right, but I wish I had it now. I think Ashtalora is still in the tent. And I think Ashtalora, as he's trying to add vegetables, she keeps doing the cat thing. Swat. Swat. Swat, swat. And knocking the vegetables away.
What are you? These are prime. I grew them myself. What are you doing? Come on.
For Rochelle, Ashtalora is Eridan's familiar. She is a very large black Norwegian forest cat, Trussum.
Excellent.
So a little winged
Big
cat.
furry cat with wings.
Yes. She's very cute. She's an emotional support cat. And we love her. And yes, she is defending Soup's honor currently.
Love that cat.
While Soup's gonna go eat.
Oh, why would you say that?
Where are you heading, Soup?
Oh boy.
Oh, so, yeah,
Gonna
Soup's
eat
gonna
some
go.
fruits.
He's gonna follow that very fruity smell all the way back to where
no.
they were at.
Oh no.
Okay.
Meanwhile, he's going to be kind of like messing with a bunch of rope.
Okay. As you're going ahead and messing with this rope and doing whatever it is you're currently doing with it, you go ahead and find definitively the fruity smelling door and kind of it's pretty easy to just kind of push it open. These aren't kind of locked houses in the slightest. The first thing you hear is ah!
He's gonna go in there and immediately go and just look around at all the birds, and a bit of drool goes off him as his pupils go wide. He's like, no.
Crocodile!
And he like goes through the house, goes looking for Sally. Is he able to easily find her?
There is a very obvious door that kind of leads down to the cellar, like trap door that leads down. You hear immediately Mara, are you back?
He kind of like
shouting
knocks.
through the...
He comes down there and goes,
Oh, sorry. Looking out for you.
Oh, Soup. Oh, sorry, I was just taking a nap. Hello. What can I do for you?
he kind of like looks off to the side.
Nothing. You go ahead, rest. I'm gonna just be here. Didn't think anybody's watching you.
Soup, I don't believe you in the slightest, dear.
Met your daddy. He's nice. Big feller.
Adam is wonderful, yes. Very kind soul. Good man.
I'll just be here. You rest up. I'll be watching the birds or something. I'll find something to do.
She kind of eyes you over again, a little confused, and it's like, I won't pry any further if you don't want me to, but you can talk to me, Soup, if you wish. That is allowed. That is something you can do. She kind of throws a soft smile your way before kind of shaking her head. Well,
I missed you.
Huh. She was going to kind of open a book and now closes it over and puts it down. Just, that's very kind of you to say. I must admit, the brief time that everyone was together was certainly a journey. You are a strange little group, but an interesting one.
Yeah. I ain't never had nobody give me some magic before. Thanks for that bowstring. Saved my life.
You're very welcome. I thought you would be the best one to use it out of everyone, and it suited you the best, so I'm glad it was useful.
When you're done here, where are you going next?
I'm a little worried to be traveling alone. I will probably end up staying here for a little while, since I usually do travel by myself, and I don't really know. I look for interesting people. I look for adventures. I look for weird and wonderful things and individuals and bits and bobs to trade to keep myself going. With my caravan now gone, or too damaged to really deal with right now, I will probably have to... She kind of looks a little solemn Well, I don't know. What about
Well,
yourself?
I don't know yet, but we brought trouble to you. Barely got you out of that. Thinking about you being gone makes me feel funny. Like I'm hungry, but cold too.
She
I think you should
smiles
come
a
with
little
us.
bit. She smiles a little bit. I'm not entirely sure that the threads of destiny put us all together, unfortunately.
Yeah, I learned something about threads.
And he takes the little book out and like the little set, and he's got his kit, and he just kind of like holds it up like,
Ah,
I ain't real good yet.
it's kind of you. I always forget that you're a bit of a bookworm, you.
Oh, yeah. Look at this.
he takes like the little two-page book and opens it up, and it starts talking.
And as it begins speaking, it would resume where it was left off in the final chapter. As it says, well, honestly, not too excited about this one. This is the final chapter of things that I did, did.
That's
I miss
good.
home.
He's Kobo.
He's like whispering to her like we were in a movie.
Yeah. I miss home. I miss home a lot. More than I should, probably. But I've been everywhere. Been out to the cold. I'm into the normal. I've seen where all those tall people live. I've seen walking, talking trees. I've seen weird, dark things. I've seen a lot. But I miss my family. I miss them a lot. Never got to spend a lot of time with the youngest. Such a shame. Left him a present, though. Almost lost my dang arm for it. There's this really, really weird place in this place. It's kind of hard to describe, actually. It's hot. It's very hot. There's this weird person in there that's doing stuff and things, and big plants that kind of cover across everything. And I managed to get one. Just the tiniest little slither of one. Teeniest, tiniest little drop, and I managed to mess with it a little bit. Mess with it a little bit more. I couldn't go back for a while, but I used a little bit of gold. That's it. A little bit of gold to send it back to my family. A little name tag. I got to be an adventurer. I got to do cool stuff. I got to write a book. But I miss you all. I can't go back, but if there's anything I've learned in this journey, it's that the world takes you really weird places. So if you end up somehow reading this, well, if you're smart enough to be my boy, There's a little code in the back. A little something to come find me. Just on the back cover. It'll only appear once you finish the whole book. And here you are. To anyone else who's been here for my ridiculous things that I've did, I thank you. And if you're listening, your name ain't because of no fancy arrow. It's because I think you're super. Love you. And the hologram fades as the book almost seems to close itself in your hands. You now see a strange draconic symbol on the very back cover suddenly light up in a reddish hue, and it begins to write out in draconic a set of coordinates.
Soup is holding the book and he's just looking straight ahead, and he's trembling.
Did you, are you okay?
That wasn't the ending I was expecting.
Books have a strange way of giving you twists and turns until the very end, but it seems a little more than that.
Hold on a minute.
And he just he shifts out of the room and she just hears this heavy breathing. He shifts back in to the room and his face is wet on either side. But he's back to looking kind of his stoic way. His lip trembles a bit. And he looks at the back of the book. And he takes a piece of paper out and he starts making an etching of it.
Well.
And he looks at Sally and he goes,
Guess I got somewhere new to go.
Someone you recognize? Or simply the call of curiosity?
Well, I ain't much thought about my Baba in a while. Thought he forgot about us. Then I tried to be chieftain, and my brother took that from me. All I had left of him was this.
and he takes out the redwood arrow.
Now it turns out he was off doing what I'm doing right now. Guess I could be some kind of adventurer. Never thought I could be till now.
I know I don't know you awfully well, but I know you well enough to know that you've been through a lot already. I certainly think you can call yourself an adventurer already, considering. But an adventurer adventures. It sounds like you have something new to figure out. And I'm certainly one for figuring out mysteries myself.
He just grins. Then his grin fades.
I like that. I don't think I want to bring these folks with me, no. No. They done been through enough already. I warn you. I'm pretty good at protecting people, but I already failed twice. That there feller, Jotra, am I supposed to protect him? Mess that up. Maybe I'll find a way to be better. I'll be better if I do this. Yeah. I think so.
She walks over, and instead of the usual kind of head pat that you would expect from some of the individuals you've encountered so far, instead she drops to one knee and rests a hand just on your shoulder.
I just don't want it to happen again.
It won't, Soup. I'm sorry.
No, you're right. You're right. I'm gonna go find my Baba. You teach me how to be better. And then maybe I still have a part in this.
It sounds like he's certainly been through a hell of a lot. Perhaps you could teach him a few things too.
You're funny. I like you. Well, let's go set the table. I don't expect nothing.
Before you, as she kind of begins to speak, her finger points down to the book. As now the coordinates are complete, have been sat in your hand for a while. There seems to be a small brown purple glow to just a one character. It seems to almost be button-like in its appearance.
Push the button.
There's nothing for a moment. Slightly kind of looks at you, looks back to the book. All that glowing can't be nothing for nothing. Let's hang on just a moment. She begins to look around a little bit, concerned. And the air in this cellar begins to heat up, just ever so slightly. As one of the candles in the room, its flame suddenly pulls and flickers away from its source and almost seems to float down onto the ground. As with a small flash of flame, a familiar figure stands before you. An outfit of regal royal purple satin covers this individual. She holds a book in one hand and a drink in the other. She looks towards you and smiles. Just, so, you finally made it, my apprentice. You finally found what you're looking for.
You knew all along?
You can't possibly think it's an accident. You're wandering around the place, and the only person that happens to speak Draconic comes your way. Your father had me pegged up for this for quite a few years now.
I ain't that special.
Perhaps you don't think you are. You sat, you learned, you became dedicated, you made yourself special. That's quite the achievement.
Oh, Lady Soma, this is Sally.
Sally just kind of looks towards the lady and then looks back to you. Just, your entire group are full of surprise. Is this going to be a consistent thing? People just appearing from nowhere? I'm sorry, she's a what?
She's a dragon.
She's a dragon. She immediately freezes in her tracks before turning and offering a very low curtsy. There's a slight chuckle from the new figure in the room. She just, please, I am not royalty. I am simply a curious individual.
Are you here to take me?
I'm here to start you on the right path, like your father requested. Every single copy of this book was enchanted by myself in order to make sure that when you were ready, you would find it. And found it you have.
There's a lot to handle. Okay.
Just like everything else in your life, my apprentice, you will learn.
Raiden really did bring out the best. Like you said.
He pulls something out of his pack. It's like this jumble of like rope and posts, and he just goes,
I got an idea.
Is this one of your harebrained schemes?
Oh yeah. Yep. No hair,
You
no,
know,
I ain't got none.
Usually I would say no, but it has been far too long. What did you have in mind?
cut.
And we fade back now to the rest of the party. As you find yourselves kind of watching Adam here cooking, doing his thing. Is there any discussions you think you would have in the meantime before we find ourselves returning, or the whole party returning back together?
Mara would ask, so whatever problems are following you, do you think they'll follow you here? Because these people are dealing with enough.
I have a feeling that trouble follows us kind of wherever we go. Unfortunately. But it's at least a few days behind, I think, right now. I mean, they've got to regroup or something, right, Eridan?
I find it odd that you would think so, but she said that they're just summoned. They don't know the location. I don't know.
Well, then perhaps we shouldn't stay in town. These people don't deserve that kind of wrath.
Well, Sally plans on staying, so she should be able to continue what I've started here. She seems pretty strong. I'm willing to travel with you all. It seems like your troubles may be a bit bigger than theirs.
That's very brave. And for somebody, I mean, we haven't even told you what kind of shite we're in. And for you to put yourself out like that, I respect that immensely.
They
You
haven't
can
even
only
quite
die
told
once,
me.
right?
Well, from my experiences, you can die a few times. But that's why I'm around. As long as I don't die, you'll be fine.
Well, I've got your back.
Note to self, don't leave Dewan in charge of pep talks.
I have spare the dying. If you're dying, I can help you. But if I'm dying, fuck you all.
I also have spare the dying. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Anyway.
If it makes you feel better, Mara, I guess it isn't. I stuck with this group because I felt like they needed help, and I'm not quite sure what trouble they're in, but look at them. Any help is better than no help.
If you both want to keep traveling with us, we can catch you up to speed.
Eridan, you keep losing people. It's time that you gain some. Besides, I'm cute.
Just got a point.
Hi.
Typical bard response.
I love it.
Men's the seducing.
Oh, Lord.
I said what I said. Not sorry.
I suppose now we're the weird and cute party. And you look over at Dawan, and weirdly enough, Poultice is in her lap.
Which one
Just
is
there.
Poultice again?
Poultice is the hairless one. Poultice and Pestle are two cats
Did
that
they,
are Dawan's.
They came with you?
I don't know. You have no idea. They're cats. They come and go as they please.
Like gnocchi. Got it.
Right now, Poultice is on my lap. Who knows where Pestle is? I need to write these names down.
I also have a cat friend,
Oh
But
my
he's-
goodness.
a bit bigger. And then she puts her hand out to like horse size.
Wait. Do we see said cat?
No. He's likely around somewhere. He comes and goes when he thinks I need him.
Cats, right?
I can't believe this party suddenly has a herd of
I have
cats.
so many cats.
And if you think about it, Dawan is also a cat, so she's just chosen to adopt you. One day she might disappear,
Please
and
don't.
she'll come back.
Okay.
Then she comes back.
Okay, that's the important part. Thank you. Please don't go. No more, please. Oh, God.
As you folks are sat here and having these small discussions, you do eventually hear the footsteps of Sally and Soup, as they both appear to have made their way towards the tent.
Soup, you see Ashtalora defending your honor and protecting your pots.
I knew I liked that cat.
She's a good girl. She knows.
Soup starts setting the table and puts a bunch of chairs around it. One for everyone, including himself, and one extra one. He puts names, like nameplates, on everyone's plate. and he sets it up way fancier than he ever has before. And he stands up on his chair.
Is
And,
there a special occasion?
Goes,
Well, I figured we ought to honor Jotra with a special dinner. We're gonna laugh together. Say hi to our new friends.
he looks over at Mara.
And, well, I wanted to show you something.
And he goes over to the side, pulls out this large like contraption, and it looks like he takes these 4 posts, puts them in the ground, and it covers a large area of about 20 foot square. And it's a bunch of ropes that are stretched out over top of it, crisscross on each other, in kind of a mat. And he says,
Jotra made this. Well, he helped me draw it. And then I put it together. Back when we were fighting Kruthiks, air bugs under the ground, kind of like these air worms. We could put everybody on it. Wouldn't make no vibration, so they couldn't hear us. I thought it was neat and we could honor his memory. Everybody sit and talk about what we like about Jotra.
That's quite a beautiful thought, Sue.
I agree.
And then Orin will climb up onto the net. Eridan, do you happen to have the Pavasari bag?
Pavasari went with him.
Did he drop the bag of holding that was inside?
I just dropped the bag.
Yes.
Yeah, we have
That
the...
was before the combat. The Pavasari, the bag and everything in it was given to you out of Pavasari.
So I have... I thought you were asking if I had Pavasari. Sorry.
No. Just the bag. The
Yeah.
bag of holding that was inside of Pavasari's mouth.
Yeah, so I'll pull that off and hold it out to you.
Yeah. And I'm gonna reach in and I'm gonna go, please, Wit's Whetstone, and hopefully pull out a jar of whiskey.
In fact, there is still a glass. There is still a glass bottle with the Wit's Whetstone signature brew inside.
And Orin's gonna look at it. This was distilled by Jotra's family and served at his family's inn. He always whipped it out when we had something to celebrate. And I think we should all just have a drink if you partake. And he'll start pouring glasses and offering them to people, and just a little shot, just a little bit. And for anybody who takes it. And my favorite thing about Jotra, and you might find this surprising, it was his curiosity. Anytime that he saw a problem, he'd always try to figure out a way around it. And he'd ask questions and he'd experiment, and a lot of times he'd fuck up. But he had a great heart. He was always trying for the best, the greatest good. I know that we'll see him again someday. But until then, I'll miss you, lad.
I love that he always saw the best in everyone, no matter what. No matter what they did, there was always something good in every person. And even before fights, he would try talking to them first and trying to reason with them. It was just always hopeful. And for me, that meant a lot. Especially given what I may or may not have done.
I did not know Jotun for very long. But even I could see that he wanted to help anyone, everyone. I feel a shared soul between us, and I wish I had gotten the chance to know him more.
Soup moves over to the extra place setting, which has Jotra's name on it. And he takes the plate that has food on it. And he lifts it up just a little bit, pulls an envelope out from underneath it that has Jotra's name on it. And he stands up on his seat. He opens it up. He says,
I wrote this for him. In case you come back, thanks for helping me feel normal. Thanks for the watch. I'm gonna need it. I hated when you would impulsively do stuff because I was supposed to protect you. You always proved that you were braver than all of us in those moments, though. I hope you're all right wherever you are. I hate that I failed to keep my promise. Bitch didn't have my head. Clearly, I'm no hero. I'll change that, though. Maybe if I see you again, you'll see to give me another shot. Y'all remember that song he used to sing?
Just a crack and a snap.
And away it goes.
Away it goes. Singing the slow one.
Yeah. I think we ought to sing that one more time.
he goes and takes Sally's hand, and he gets on top of the weave. And he starts to kind of bounce on it. And I think Ray can take it from here.
As you're all kind of joining into this wonderful chorus, it gets a little faster, just as Jotra did. And this is a relatively common drinking song, so those of you who were not a part of this would still know the lyrics after a little while, and you'd go ahead and kind of join in. It's usually used to just kind of mess around or joke between friends, raise morale in general. It builds faster and faster as a few of the townsfolk have now also started to join in. Still distanced away from your current situation. The weave that has been created begins to move up and down faster and faster as Soup and Sally seem to share a knowing smile between them. And as the pace begins to build and build, you hear a snap and a crack, and away it goes. And suddenly, the trampoline launches both Soup and Sally far, far, far into the air as a low roar cracks across the sky. You watch from the tree line as this large, elegant copper dragon swoops through and down underneath the two of them and seems to just catch them across its neck and back. It lets out a small, harmless stream of gas into the air that seems to sparkle a little bit as dusk begins to set. The dragon, Soup, and Sally all fly into the horizon as the weave still bounces slightly as the rest of the energy begins to dissipate.
You hear echo in the distance. Check your blades! And he's gone.
Eridan picks up the name plate, or if I see a note or something.
There's underneath the dinner plate, there is an envelope named Eridan in Soup's rather nice handwriting.
Mara moves up behind Eridan and puts her hand on her shoulder.
I open it. I look up at Orin.
Did he just fuck off?
Should we all check our plates?
Yeah, Orin's gonna check under his plate.
Eridan opens hers.
Eridan says...
Also, you fucker, you're doing this too? Go on. Wreck me. Go
Eridan
on.
says...
I'm not good at this, but I want you to know things. I know what it's like not to know who you are. Thank you for helping me figure that out. I'm glad you got to start over. In case you forget again, you are good. You are smart. You're a good teacher. You are not who you used to be. You're stronger than you think. And you are bad at cooking. Also, be careful with those swords.
Why? Look over to Orin.
Does Orin have one? He's gonna open it up.
Motherfucker.
The tears. I thrive from them.
From one small warrior to another. You're very strong. Protect your flank. Utilize distance. And always use surprise. Things from your past have changed. But you decide who you are. Be careful. You're important. And there are bad people that will want to use your connection to the sisters and this group to their advantage. Take time to relax, but stay vigilant. I expect you to watch over this group now. Don't stop. Never give up the fight. And remember, you will always be my brother. P.S. Your fifth vertebrae leans slightly left. Wear your staff on the other side. P.S.S. Watch out for Blink.
I'm just gonna.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, just kind of
Yep.
stand up a little bit straighter, correct his posture a little bit, slide his quarterstaff over.
Dewan, you have us like a small note.
Yeah.
It says,
I hope I see you again. They need you. Don't leave. Keep them safe. Thanks for the bucks. Keep being kind. You're the first divine warrior that meets expectations of the saints I read about. I'm in awe of you.
She would tuck it away in a pocket of her satchel. And you notice this pocket is deep and not near any potions or things that could spill.
Mara has a very small slip of paper.
She reads it.
You seem trustworthy. But I'll be back.
I think he just threatened me.
He called you trustworthy. That is the greatest compliment he could give you.
Coming from Soup, absolutely.
He doesn't say that lightly. At least this one had a little bit of comic relief to break up the pain. Not a whole lot, but it was kind of like a cushion. I feel like it would almost be like Assassin's Creed, where like you jump off and like they land in the hay and it looks really soft, but like in reality it's not. You know, like you kind of stand up, you're like, ooh, that kind of didn't feel great.
How do you know? Well, how many hay bales have you been leaping into?
A lot. None. You'll never know. You don't know what I do in my spare time. Actually, you do, but everyone does.
As everyone is kind of coming to the end of their notes, you hear a sudden clang of metal as you say, a snap and a crack and a wait. Is this a bad he's holding, Adam has come out holding the soup that's, the food that Soup was cooking in like multiple hands. Just, is this a bad time? Why is everyone sat?
No. No, this is the perfect time. Let's eat this delicious food.
All right. As he begins to kind of spread it out, it's very much kind of a banquet, a usual soup banquet that has been splayed out before you. He's like, honestly, that little one. He's beginning to kind of just pile it on. He's like, he's pretty good. There's a lot of things I was trying and I was going to add, and actually he's doing a really good job. And he's kind of scattering the food out a little bit. He's like, I changed a few recipes just to give a little bit more flavor, but for the most part, kind of scatters it all out. And you hear the thunk again as he flips out his little trouser seat, sits down, grabs a mug of
Adam, there's
booze
a
that's
chair
been left
for you. There is a chair for you.
Yeah, no, he's still in his little trouser chair. He looks at the beer, like in the mug, and just kind of hands it over to Oren real quickly. Just, could you deal with that for just a moment there? Could you?
You want me to drink it?
Yeah, I'm not really a beer guy. Not really a whiskey guy either, to be honest.
Well, sure. I'll take the beer.
You go ahead and knock it back. He pulls out another vial from his back, flicks it open, and pours a little bit of water in, rinses it around, pours it out on the ground, and pulls out a big flask of apple juice and just pours it into the cup.
Apple juice. Okay.
Begins to take a swig.
Wow, I didn't know Drac was still on stream.
Does this man only consume fruit?
Right, pretty much.
Is that an in character question or an out of character question?
Adam,
In character, do you only consume fruit?
I just really like him.
Sally had to go.
The OP thing, yeah, I noticed. Well, it ain't my place to do it, but I'll do it anyway. And he lifts the mug upwards. Just waits for everyone's response.
With
As he
my
gets
glass.
ready to toast. To family. He goes ahead and
Family.
takes a big old swig.
Found family.
To found family and chosen family.
That too.
I don't know why Soup left the way he did, but I know that he has a good reason for it. That little guy, he doesn't do anything lightly. So Sally's in good hands. She'll be safe.
And he knows how to find us.
Oh, he'll find us.
He'll be back.
He's a bird. Takes another swig. It's like, sometimes they just need to stay in their nest for a while. When they're ready, they fly up by themselves, but you end up seeing them again. That's all it is.
Mara, I wanted to kind of apologize. You hit us you met us right at a kind of a rough spot. But like I said, you're very brave, and I very much appreciate you wanting to join us. And I think we should probably fill you in with what we've been up to. And kind of take some time to kind of give the backstories of like our trips into the fire plane.
Hear the flashback.
And as everyone is now having this discussion, getting both Dewan and Mara caught up to speed with the current events that you've been through, toasting again and enjoying the meal that Soup has laid out for you as he continues on the next leg of his adventure. You find yourselves whining, dining, and laughing with your new companions. And as the sun begins to set, you find yourself talking, explaining, celebrating,
Crying.
until the wee hours of the morning.
Weeping.
Weeping may also be a possibility. And it's at this point that we will go ahead and wrap up the session, folks. It has been another emotional one.
It was so good. So good.
Friends who roll dice and cry. We are an aptly named channel. Yes.
Laura is so wholesome. I love her so much.
Yes.
She's a Disney princess.
A good healing source
So
mentally.
my heart is so full from the wholesome. I feel like that helped too with Soup leaving. Like that was just a nice warm cushion. Like, oh, yes.
Oh, how did Oren like being seen?
That was awesome. Love that. Yeah, and how come now I'm the only one that doesn't have a cat? I hate that.
I have 2 cats.
It's because you
I
have
am a cat.
I know.
Adam. It's because you
one
have
on
4
loan.
in real life.
Yeah, because I have 3 at home, so it's
exactly.
like real Adam doesn't need another cat.
Oh my
It's
God.
like, yeah, you'll have to loan one from Dewan so that you're not totally lonely. It's okay, you have little magma, man.
Yeah, exactly. I've got you.
cat.
But
Magma cat. Yeah.
Magma
it's
cat.
not quite
Magma
a,
Maybe-
it's not quite a cat. But...
Oh, we got
Maybe
a
you-
last minute raid.
Oh, hey,
Ah!
Chroma Hello, lovely people. We are just
Hello.
wrapping up a rather heavy session as we say hello to a wonderful friend and we say goodbye to another wonderful friend. Everyone's a little teary, a little congested, a little, yeah. It's been a...
No one's allowed to leave now.
Okay, so like I
No
actually
more.
am not gonna be. I gotta go. I feel
Wow.
like Cole would literally drive up to my house.
And be like,
I know where you live.
I know where you live.
It's true.
I know what matters most.
I miss you. I'll probably come visit anyway.
say, I was gonna say you see her through the peephole, like staring in, but that's not. No, you would more just
No.
hear her through the door.
I can't reach the peephole.
Yeah.
Too short.
All right, folks. Why don't we go ahead and just do a very quick round the table of who people are. I'll start with Adam here. Who are you and where can people find you?
Hello, I'm Adam. You can find me every Monday here, of course, at the Mine and the Martyr playing Orin. I also do all the post-production, and check out YouTube and podcast versions of Mine and the Martyr. You can find us, like I said, YouTube, and then also Google Play, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, we're there. So I'll add music and sound effects to our past episodes. So if you want to know what the hell is going on and who we just lost, catch up with us.
And all
Thank
of
you
that
so
in
much,
post-production
Adam.
is amazing.
Yes, it is incredible. If you want to go ahead and take a look at the Mind of the Martyr, but you don't quite have the time to watch a full Twitch VOD, you can go ahead and take a look on YouTube. Adam's additional sound effects and edits are fantastic, and they are what I always use to go ahead and recap whatever episodes we've already done. 100%, 10 out of 10. Friends Who Roll Dice on YouTube. Go check it out. Cole.
I have to unmute myself in 2 spots. Hi, howdy, hey, I'm Cole. You can find me at Cole Moriel. I'm probably crying about something usually. You can find me here on Mondays playing Eridan, Resident Sad Girl. We love to see it. I'm so sorry. You should definitely keep an eye. If you happen to catch Infinite Horizons over on Rule of Lore, there's going to be a really exciting announcement. And there's going to be one on their Twitter, so maybe keep an eye on that, because there's some exciting stuff. And yeah, that's me. I'm here, resident artist. I make the pretty things. Commissions are not open right now because I'm swamped, but try again in a month.
Cole is also the resident artist of the channel, has done all the logos, all the overlays, all of the character portraits of existing characters and characters that are on the way. Don't miss it. Take a look. It's going to be fantastic. All right. Jesse with
Hi.
the cutest kitty.
He's very sleepy right now. It's past his bed.
So precious.
It's past his bedtime. I'm Jesse. You can find me at Who's the Moose on all social media. I also do art things, except not right now because I am doing other art things. But hey, maybe 2021, my commissions will open up. That's all I'm doing right now. Is here and art stuff and occasional shit posts on Twitter. Who knows?
We have multiple amazing people in their fields. It's not fair. All right. Let's throw it over to our wonderful new cast member, the wonderful Rochelle / the Dragon Gem. Where can people find you?
I am Rochelle, Dragon Gem on some things like Twitch, the Dragon Gem on Twitter because someone else has my freaking name. But I'll be here playing my Disney Princess Mara and doing the Barty things.
All right. Last but not least, as we say farewell to the wonderful Soup, as life is getting super interesting for you. Haha, I said super. I hate myself. Go ahead and let people know where we can find you.
Howdy, folks. I'm Sean, at NoTweetSean on Twitter. I am one of the administrators over at Threadwriters, and you can find me on, let's see, next Sunday. I will be in Duval and Dragons. I will be farewelling from that as well. So we'll be saying goodbye to my dwarf Horus. It has been a lovely time here on The Mind of the Martyr. I highly recommend, if you have not watched this, you need to watch it because it's great. Not just because I'm in it. That's probably the least important thing. Ray is amazing. Everyone in this cast, including the people who are not currently here but have been here, amazing people. They all are super talented, great at role-playing, make amazing characters. The plot is fantastic. Watch or listen to it. It's worth your time. But yeah, you can find me in Somati Discord. You can find me in Friends Who Roll Dice Discord. You can find me in Threadwriters Discord. You can find me working on random projects here and there. I am taking a hiatus for a little while because I have a baby and my wife is going to school and I might be going to school as well. And so I'm all the busy. But I've had an excellent time here on The Mind of the Martyr. And I mean that with all my heart.
We love you, Sean. And as always, the chair is always open for whenever you wish to return. And you will be returning at some point. I swear. So mote it be. It will happen. Yes, it has been an absolute pleasure to DM for you during this time. I love Soup to pieces. I love you to pieces. You are always a fantastic source of light and care and inspiration. And yeah, you're wonderful. And I can't wait to see all the other stuff you're going to be a part of. It's going to be fantastic. I love all of this cast so much. And the cast that we don't currently have with us, but has been here with us. I see Ty in the chat nosing around. That means you too, Ty. I am Ray. I have the humbling pleasure of being your DM during the sessions of The Mind and the Martyr. You can find me over at RedMageRay on Twitter. You can find me in a few different places at the moment, actually. I am currently switching from cast member to producer of Transient Presents Wednesday show of Sleep Safe the Night Mother. The first season was a whole bunch of fun. I have not had that much fun in a horror TTRPG in a very long time, mainly because I got to kill the rest of the cast, or try to. Dice Priori, thank you for the raid. We are literally just wrapping up. But we shall go ahead and spread the love to somebody else. So we'll make sure that that is not wasted. You can find me over there on Wednesdays. They're currently doing Rat in a Cage, which is a horror-themed prison escape show. That's every Wednesday. You can find me over on Polished Cryptids channel, where we're running the Stygian Shroud, which is a level 12 to level 20 Curse of Strahd sequel campaign, which has been super fun to go through and rewrite everything. I GM for that as well with a bunch of wonderful people. And you can find me over on Saturdays on Savoric's channel, where we are playing through Star Wars Exile, an alternate timeline Star Wars The Old Republic campaign. And I'm having so much fun with my Grey Jedi over there. Come and join us for any and all of those. It will be an absolute blast. Thank you so much for everyone for being here. If you liked what you saw, go ahead and hit that follow button down there. Also, we are still raising money for the Philippines. They have been hit by some dreadful storms recently, so we are doing our bit to try and make sure that they are getting as much help as they can. The donation link will be down below somewhere, just below in the panels. There is also a link in the Nightbot just there to donate, even though that particular advertisement isn't applicable here, but that's fine. And we have 4 games coming up very, very soon, which is going to be super exciting. We are going to go ahead and close out here. Make sure to follow Friends Who Roll Dice on Twitter for any updates and all of the new games coming in. A big thank you to the cast. A big thank you to Rochelle for coming in. It's going to be super fun to continue to play with you, and I love Mara so much. And a big thank you to Sean for all of the time and effort you have spent through this campaign so far. A final thank you to our sponsors, Grinding Coffee, So Nerdware, and the soon-to-be rebooted DM Emporium. Go ahead and take a look below for the links and discount codes there. And we are going to go on a raid and pass on the wonderful love that you have sent to us. Thank you so much. Please remember, we are in the middle of a pandemic. Wear your masks. Look after yourselves. Please, social distance, wash your hands, do what you have to keep yourselves safe and sane. And above everything, keep moving forward.